Hello and welcome to the IGL Coatings Australia Certified Applicator Training Program. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite products, and that is IGL wheel coating. The IGL wheel coating, as you would have guessed by the name, is IGL's specialized wheel coating product. It is designed to adhere to every kind of wheel, whether it is polished aluminium, stainless steel, painted, powder coated, clear coated, whether it is used for daily driving or motorsport. It is made for every single wheel. It's a product that is designed to work very well against highly corrosive chemicals and highly corrosive materials like brake dust. It's also highly temperature resistant, making it perfect for motorsport, which is something I love doing. IGL wheel coating in Australia is available in two sizes, the 30mm kit and the 100mm essential. Today we're going to be looking at the 30mm kit, which is something I recommend everybody start off with. And as your business grows and develops, and as you're looking for more cost savings, you can look at the bigger size bottles if you have the bookings necessary to use that product up in the right time. As part of every 30mm wheel kit, you will receive a beautiful box with a barcode that you could scan for further application instructions, as well as the documentation needed for MSTS, TDS, and things like that. You will also receive a pouch containing applicator cloths, stickers, warranty cards, and a small flyer. There is a little dripper that will go inside of your 30mm bottle to allow you to use it easier. You will also have a spray trigger that you could assemble like so. A 100ml bottle of IGL Pre-Coat Surface Prep Spray, some gloves, an applicator block, and your 30mm wheel coating. Now that we have seen what the IGL wheel kit includes, let's talk about its application, where it is used and how it is used. Then we will get stuck straight into doing a real-life demonstration and training on how to apply it. As mentioned, IGL wheel coating is perfect for all kinds of wheels. Now, don't let people lead you to believe that it's not needed on wheels that are used for motorsport, because I do motorsport. I know how important it is for me, and I did not coat these green wheels for probably 2 or 3 months. And every time I wash my car, I regret not having it coated, and hence why we're making this video today. The next thing is, don't let people tell you that you shouldn't be needing to coat wheels that don't get too dusty for EVs like Teslas that use regenerative braking, or for supercars that have carbon ceramics. IGL wheel coating doesn't just resist brake dust, it also resists road tar and grime and dirt, making that wheel not only easier to clean, but resistant to etching, which is something really bad if you're using high performance brake pads, where the brake dust, which comprises of various chemicals and metals, actually rusts and begins eating into the wheel, leaving you with a situation where you cannot clean that wheel, as I'm sure we have all come across. So very important for wheels. However, IGL wheel, being a metal specific coating, is also fantastic to use on things like bull bars, tow bars, exhaust tips. For motorbikes, I like to coat the engine covers, I like to coat the frames with IGL wheel, because I find it to be more durable and longer lasting than a paint specific coating. So think of IGL wheel as your metal coating of choice, whether that metal is raw or that metal is painted. Like with all IGL coatings products, prep is key. So whilst ideally you want to coat wheels when they are brand new, when coating second-hand wheels or used wheels, you want to clean up as much of the surface as you can. And in this case, we have quite a lot of tar buildup and race rubber buildup. So we're going to use IGL rubber to try and fix that up. And then we're going to get stuck straight into the coating process. With the wheels now cleaned and ready for coating, we can start the surface preparation. Using the IGL pre-coat that you are provided with in the kit, or otherwise a larger size IGL pre-coat that you might have purchased directly, spray that product, the IGL pre-coat, onto the wheel and thoroughly wipe off. This will remove any waxes, greases, or otherwise any chemicals that may hinder the ability of the IGL wheel coating to adhere to the wheel and do its job properly. It's a very important step that you do not want to miss, and make sure you thoroughly wipe the wheels down.
Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night? Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough.
You are now ready to start coating your wheels. So grab your wheel coating bottle. Once you open it up, remove the safety cap and insert the dripper like I have done so here. And you will also need an applicator cloth. Now, whilst you are provided with an applicator block in the kit, I find it easier to not use it when coating wheels, only because you get to some areas where the block is not really going to fit. But that is completely up to you. Now let's get coating. Fold the applicator cloth like so. Drip some product. And then evenly start coating the wheel, and remember where you have coated and where you haven't coated, because the product, for I guess all intensive purposes, is transparent, so you may not be able to see where you have coated, and this is where you need to be thorough. So I'm going to coat the whole barrel. We're going to time lapse this quickly for you to save you time in this video, and then we're going to move forward to the next hint. In terms of application, and before we start time-lapsing, if you start feeling that the cloth is not really spreading product, apply some more. You only need a few drops and keep going. Some colored wheels and some surfaces are going to show you the result more than others. This green wheels, they're completely transparent and they're absorbing the coating. So let's fast forward this quickly.
Up at night, yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that
the barrel is now coated, and this is a little bit of a pro tip for you. If your customer wants durability at no other expense, or if the wheel doesn't show any high spots, I personally would leave that on without wiping it off, because it's going to leave a much thicker and stronger layer. Because these are my own wheels, I'm going to leave it on because I want it to perform its best. So I coated the whole barrel in the back of the spokes, and I'm not going to be leveling it. It looks fine to me. I can't even see where the product is. I'm just going to leave it. If you're coating gloss black wheels, it will show high spots, and that is where you have to make a decision and speak to the customer and say to them, it will still work amazingly well if we wipe it off, just like what we're going to do to the front of this wheel once I flip it over. Or you can leave it without wiping it off, and it's going to leave a much thicker, much more durable layer of IGL wheel coating. So let's spin this wheel around. The process to coat the front of the wheels is fairly straightforward and is no different to the rear, except we will need to be more careful with leveling the product after we have applied it, because we don't want this side to look bad. If the wheels you're coating don't show where you have coated, by all means you can leave it, but I always suggest wiping it off. And always select a reference point. So these wheels are not too complicated, there are only 6 spokes, but sometimes with very spokey wheels you can lose where you have coated and where you haven't coated. So I normally do sections at a time, and I will show you how I do this process. We might speed it up a little bit, but I want you to see most of the process so you know how I do things. So for me, the valve cap is the starting point, or the valve stem, sorry. Fold the applicator cloth so it is more of a manageable size. And now I'm going to first do the rim of the wheel, the complete outer rim. Now that's been 360 degrees, I'm going to do the next part. And as you feel the applicator, let's move this thing a little bit. As you feel the applicator get dry, feel free to put more product. And apologies for the constant movements. These wheels are too big for the wheel holder. The tires are ginormous on this thing. So a bit more product. Now we're going to do the next part. And I might just move my hand instead of the whole wheel, so we don't get as much noise and vibration and issues. All right. Now the whole outer rim is done. I'm going to start doing these tight areas in here. Now these are areas that people often miss in both cleaning, coating, and leveling the coating. So all these tight spots you have to pay attention to. And now we coat the front face of the spokes. So you can probably hear from this video that these wheels are a little bit of a, I guess, not a super smooth finish. They're aftermarket painted, and it is, whilst it is a gloss wheel coating, it is not a super smooth finish. That's why you can hear it. You don't need much product. A few drops of ceramic coating goes a very long way with IGL's coatings because they're low VOC, so the product spreads fairly well and easily. But it's something that you just have to manage and look at, and remember to always apply more than less with this product. You're not going to save much money trying to save yourself a mil, but you're going to give the customer a much better result with their wheel coating if you are thorough and you use sufficient product. The wheel coating is now applied but not leveled. Always remember to put the cap on the bottle tightly. Not too tight so you can't open it, but apply it tight enough so the bottle doesn't start curing, well, the product doesn't start curing inside of the bottle. You don't want that, that's a waste of money. Once you're satisfied that the wheel is completely coated, grab a brand new microfiber cloth and gently wipe off all the areas that you have coated that you want to wipe off. So like I said before, I'm not going to be wiping off the barrel for this wheel because it's actually not showing. It's not showing any high spots. And for racing purposes, I want it to be as thick and as durable as possible. Wipe off the spokes. Before, if you are coating gloss black wheels that have plenty of spokes, I do recommend using 2 microfiber cloths, or after you do your first initial wipe, turn the microfiber over so you use a fresh side and then wipe again. It's just a process to further reduce the risk of having any high spots because nobody likes high spots. And that's it. The wheel coating is done. Let's talk about some tips and tricks of the trade. The first trick, which we have already mentioned, is not leveling where you don't have to level. Run it past the customer if you're not sure, but if you're coating a wheel and that wheel is not glossy, you can't see any high spots, leave the barrel without leveling. Leave the back of the spokes without leveling because that's going to give the customer a much thicker, more durable product. But where it needs to look pretty, like the front of the wheel, always level it and use 2 microfiber cloths if needed to make sure there are no high spots. The second hint that I would like to share with you is always coat the barrel of the wheel first before the spokes. And the reason being is that it is much faster to coat the barrel than the spokes. So if you have to wipe the product off in 10 to 15 minutes, You don't want to spend 15 minutes coating the spokes at the front, flip the wheel around, spend another 5 minutes coating the barrel. Then it might be a little bit too long for the spokes and the product will get sticky. So I always choose to start with the barrel, then finish off with the spokes. It's just a much safer way of doing it without leaving the product on for too long. Another little bit of advice is, if the wheel is off, coat the brake caliper. Why not? The wheel is already off. All it takes is a little bit of pre-coat, put some RGL wheel on the brake caliper. You're going to have happier customers that get good value from your products and services. If you're not taking the wheel off, you can always just coat the front face of the wheel. Whilst it can be done, it is not always recommended to try to coat the barrel inside without removing the wheel, because you might not reach everything, but that's a business decision between you and the customer. If the wheel is not removable, or if the car might have small brakes and it has a massive wheel, then you can probably access everything. But for my car, there is almost no gap. So again, you can offer full wheel coating, you can offer partial wheel coating. You can just do the face of the wheel, save your customer money, save yourself time. The final bit of advice I give you is always wash the wheel properly when you wash the car properly before coating the wheels. Because if you get a little bit lazy and say, look, I'm going to coat these wheels anyway, so let's just wash the car, let's not bother washing the wheels. When you take the wheel off, it's going to take you a lot longer to clean the wheel. Where if you give it a really good wash at the right time, when you take the wheel off, the prep is less. So that's a little bit of a pro tip from my own personal, business experiences. Now let's talk about the pros of using RGL wheel and how you should sell it to a customer. The biggest benefit for RGL wheel, hands down, is the ease of cleaning and maintenance. The product, once it's on, will resist dirt and dust. So wheels, especially for European cars that have very dusty brake pads, are going to stay cleaner for much longer. It's also going to be much easier to clean the wheel. It will be much faster to dry the wheel. Your customer will just generally have a better experience cleaning their wheels. The next benefit, which is huge for me, and as you would have seen in this video, if you don't coat the wheels when they're brand new or when they look their best, there is opportunity for permanent damage or damage that is very difficult to repair to occur. And that is, in my case, very, very bad tar buildup from track days. Some customers might have brake dust eating into edges and bits and pieces like that. And in extreme cases, you can have just brake dust caked on that etches into the clear coat of the wheels that cannot be removed. And that wheel will need to be refurbished. So it will, in the long run, save the customer money and repair for their wheels, and it will add to the resale value of the car, even if it's a daily driver, to coat those wheels. So for a very small price, it's a no-brainer. Another pro tip, which I just thought of, is if you're applying RGL Kenzo or RGL Quartz Plus, and there's a waiting period between first and second layer, it is the perfect time to use to not only have lunch and go to the bathroom and check your phone, but do some extra coatings. Put some wheel coating on, upsell it to your customer, add extra money to your booking, increase the value of the job. Your customer will get a benefit, you will get a benefit, and that's time used better. So let's put this wheel back onto the car. Let's wrap it up. This is everything you need to know about the RGL wheel coating. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Otherwise, very easy to use product, very straightforward product to use.